This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 6th day of January in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley, and here's what we're tracking tonight. One day after their Caneview Mucka homes were bulldozed by the government amid a fierce confrontation with the police, the affected residents have lashed out at the PP Civic administration over the violent removal, which has left some 7 families homeless. Siobhan Eastman, who was arrested as she attempted to safeguard her home on Thursday, told News Source that President Irfan Ali and his administration should hold their heads in shame over the treatment meted out to the people of Caneview in Mucka.
Shame on my president. Shame on you. You diss me. Because, and you know why I see it as a diss? From day one, we wrote letters and we signed our name. And we sent it to different ministries. And they never reach out to us. We sent it to the president's office. And they never reach out to us. And that's why I know they made up their mind from day one. This is it.
The businesswoman, whose house and business establishment were both reduced to rubble, said she is still in shock and disbelief. She explained that the decision to demolish the 7 remaining houses along the stretch came at a time when residents were still in negotiation with the Central Housing and Planning Authority. It was explained that while the CH and PA published notices in the press, the affected residents were never served with written notices.
Yes, you are the government. We are not fighting you. You know what I would say? We are not fighting the government. We engage these people many times. We spoke to Mr. Charles, we spoke to Aaron, we spoke to this person, we make appointment to see the CEO, we make appointment to see the minister, and what? It's a back and forth situation we went on. And the government could do it in a better manner. We are humans. We are not the pig that was in the mud yesterday. Because you know how I see it? They treat me like a pig. You understand? They treat me like that thing that is living, that we mining in the pen, like a sow. You understand me? I see it as gross disrespect.
Eastman and her brother, who was also arrested, were released from police custody last night. With their homes demolished, they were forced to seek refuge at family and friends. Along with some other displaced persons, she returned to the area today that she once called home. Some of the families have also disputed reports that they have agreed to any compensation package from the government. When News Source returned to the Caneview area today, residents were combing through the rubble to see what could be salvaged. Former minister under the coalition government, Simona Brooms, visited the location today also, and she spoke with the now homeless residents. Ms. Brooms said the actions of the government were unconscionable.
By police to destroy your home, your business, broke up your clothes, broke up your stove, broke up every single thing. Yeah? That is oppression. It is wicked. I don't care what nobody says. And at the same time, you know, this is not squatting land. This is ancestral land. This is Mucka.
The former government minister said there is no justification for the treatment meted out to the residents, and the government should be held accountable and must be held responsible. The government has defended its decision and saying that the residents were in the way of development. More news coming up in a moment.
It's been a long time coming. Overdue, some might say. But now that it's here, it will change life forever. And it is here to stay. The future is now. Transforming Guyana into the 21st century. Introducing GTT Fiber. Experience internet connectivity like never before. Speeds you deserve at prices you can afford from a name you can trust. Sign up today. GTT Fiber is here. GTT. Together, we rise faster.
Giftland Office Max, We're all about customer satisfaction, whether it's clothing and shoes for the ladies, gents, and kids, or for the latest electronics or hardware appliance. We're always thinking of satisfying you, our dear customers. Now you can shop online at www.giftlandofficemax.com or visit us at the Giftland Mall, where we're happy to serve each and every one of you.
Fireside Suite, standard and unique. Room fresh and nice, comfortable and neat. 24-hour whole day we a do it. Affordable price on a Garnet Street, yo. Can't vex, cause we top of the line. Fireside are the best, 5-star we a shine. From you come one time, we tag a left on your mind. To tell your family, your friend, them one more time say. Best service a Fireside Suite. Safety ensured on a Fireside Suite. Price them cheap on a Fireside Suite. Come enjoy your stay on a Fireside Suite. Fireside Suite located at 154 Garnet Street, Kitty. For bookings and reservation, call contact number 623-3473. Matic Queen.
Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Urging senior members of the business community and other stakeholders not to be misguided by persons he claimed wants to derail sustainable development in Guyana, President Irfan Ali on Thursday night said his government is working to build a Guyana that is not only resilient, but one that will enjoy macroeconomic stability. He made the comments during a forum on the government's 2030 agenda at State House.
So I can say, like many others, maybe let's give everybody $1 million each. First of all, it's nonsensical because we can't afford it even at the highest point of oil revenue. But it sounds nice, it sounds great. And we have to dismiss these things. We have to build a future that develops the competitiveness of our country, increase our productivity, deploy more people to the workforce, enhance our wages, and build national prosperity that reaches the household level. And at every level, we are addressing this.
With Guyana having one of the fastest growing economies in the world, President Ali anticipates that by 2025, the country will be more self-sufficient. He said his government is putting the requisite systems in place that would see the advancement of energy and food security, as well as climate, ecological, biological, financial, technological, health, manufacturing, and agro-processing services as part of its transformational agenda.
So a lot of what we are doing now is to ensure that we have the right complement of human resource with the right skill set to support this objective of the government in positioning the country to be the leading provider of health services. And we're not only saying this in an idle manner. We are building the infrastructure to support this vision.
The president said there will be massive transformational projects taking place all across the country.
As I said, we have already embarked on a massive transformational agenda. The building of the new Demerara River Bridge, the building of the new highway going to Diamond. By the end of this month, we'll finish the technical work to go to tender, to continue that highway to Busby Dam, and then a 2-lane all the way to Land of Canaan. All of that work is going on now. The commencement of the new highway along the railway embankment going all the way to Unity Lancaster. Then we have the commencement of work on the new highway in New Amsterdam to Molson Creek.
President Ali told the stakeholders that Budget 2023 has to be more than just tax incentives, as he underscored the need for there to be a more holistic approach to financing. While the current chairman of the Guyana Revenue Authority and former Minister of Finance, Sexton Rancow-Lassar, has been identified to serve in the position of Guyana's High Commissioner to India, The economist, who served as finance minister between 1999 and 2006, is expected to take up the new role within weeks, according to government sources familiar with the development. News source understands that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is expected to make a formal announcement soon. Mr. Kaulasar will be filling the position left by disgraced former High Commissioner to India, Charandas Prasad, who was forced to return home after he was recorded verbally abusing a female Indian animal rights activist and university professor over a stray dog. Prasad, who returned to Guyana last week, has since apologized to the government of Guyana and the government of India, but has not offered any apology to the woman who was the victim of his expletive-laced verbal assault. The incident caused a major embarrassment for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which had initially claimed that the matter was a settled one, but was later faced with a video recording of the incident being shared all across social media. President Irfan Ali had claimed that he contacted Prasad and asked him to return home, but Prasad, during a farewell reception in India, said he was the one who offered to return from the posting. Guyana and India have shared close diplomatic relations for decades, and the High Commissioner's position in India is considered one of the most strategic ones for Guyana. Meanwhile, President Irfan Ali left the country today for India for an official visit. Let's tell you now that former Chief Election Officer Keith Lowenfield and former Region 4 Returning Officer Clement Mingo appeared before the Elections Commission of Inquiry today and invoked their right to remain silent. The embattled officials, who are currently facing criminal charges in the magistrate's court in relation to allegations of electoral fraud, were summoned before the Commission of Inquiry. In complying with the summons, the two appeared with their attorney Nigel Hughes. The attorney told the commission that his clients are defendants in a number of criminal proceedings relating to the 2020 elections and would therefore invoke their right to remain silent. The two took the witness box minutes after each other and invoked the same right to remain silent.
My duty to advise you that you have a right to remain silent. You are not bound to answer any questions posed to you by myself or any of the commissioners or counsel to the commission. You have the right against that you feel me incriminating. Put it shortly, you are not bound to testify if you do not wish to do so. What is your desire, sir?
Mr. Chairman, I will remain silent.
Thank you. That you have a right to remain silent. The right again to protect yourself against any self-incrimination. You are not bound to answer any questions posed to you by myself or any of the commissioners or counsel for the commission. To put it simply, you are not under any obligation to testify if you do not wish to do so. What is your desire, sir?
I reserve my right to remain silent, sir.
Thank you very much.
Senior Superintendent of Police Philip Azor, who was appointed to act as Region 4 Regional Commander during the 2020 elections after pandemonium broke out at the GCOM Command Center, also exercised his right to remain silent when he appeared before the commission today.
At this moment, I would reserve my right to remain silent.
Notwithstanding the fact that you're a serving member of the Guyana Police Force.
Yes.
And
Yes.
on March 5th, 2020, you were on duty at the Ashman.
Yes, I would like to remain silent.
Thank you.
Yes.
At one stage, Commissioner, retired Judge Carl Singh, questioned the police officer about his right to remain silent. Yesterday, opposition members of Parliament Walter Lawrence and Dr. Karen Cummings, along with the opposition chief scrutineer Carol Smith-Joseph, all appeared before the commission, and they too exercised their right to remain silent. Lawrence and Smith-Joseph were also represented by attorney Nigel Hughes. Last year, a number of GCOM officials also refused to give testimony at the Commission of Inquiry.
It's your time to win big. Spend $2,000 or more at any Massey stores to enter our Christmas jackpot promotion. You can be the lucky winner of a brand new Nissan X-Trail. You can also win a sofa set, Samsung gas stove, motorcycle, $300,000 in cash, or a fabulous weekend trip for two. Shop now until January 31st for a chance to hit Massey's Christmas jackpot. Check out our Facebook, Instagram, or website for more details.
Fireside suite standard and unique. Room fresh and nice, comfortable and neat. 24-hour whole day we a do it. Affordable price down a Garnet Street, yo. Can't vex, cause we top of the line. Fireside are the best, 5-star we a shine. From you come one time, we tag a left on your mind. To tell your family, your friend, them one more time set. Best service a Fireside suite. Safety ensure down a Fireside suite. Price them cheap down a Fireside suite. Come enjoy your stay down a Fireside suite. Fireside suite located at 154 Garnet Street, Kitty. For bookings and reservation, call contact number 623-3473.
The Central Housing and Planning Authority has presented land titles to 76 residents from communities that have now been regularized. Residents from sections of Greenwich Park Railway Embankment, Stewartville Nine-Flood Sideline Dam, and Tushin Railway Embankment have benefited from the exercise. During the exercise, the Minister of Housing, Colin Crowell, stated that the regularization process is a part of the government's plan to transform the country and improve the living conditions of Guyanese. The Housing Minister further explained that the titles put the landowners in a position to provide safer and stable housing for their families. A total of 174 informal settlers or squatters had been residing in the three areas. The ministry in a statement explained that registration for the ownership documents was done last December, following a meeting with the Housing Minister. In September of last year, the meeting took place. The ministry also said processing of the remaining titles will continue with the cooperation of other residents in those communities. Additionally, the Housing Minister said that the Central Housing and Planning Authority recorded 13 squatting areas in the region after an assessment last year. He said plans are afoot to regularize those squatting areas across the Western Marara and Region 3. He further explained that no new squatting area will be recognized, as the government is looking to clamp down on informal settlements, or squatting as it is known. The Housing Ministry has introduced a zero-tolerance policy and zero-tolerance zones to discourage squatting. U.S. Ambassador to Guyana Sarah Ann Lynch met today with City Mayor Ubraj Narain, and the two discussed several issues related to the city of Georgetown and its management. The council's relationship with the government was also discussed. After the meeting, the American ambassador told the media that the two sides not only discussed challenges but also opportunities for collaboration.
We just had a lovely meeting. It's our first meeting together in the new year. So we talked about all the many opportunities here in the city of Georgetown, as well as some of the challenges. So we had a very fruitful discussion, and I'm going to take many of these messages back to my team at the U.S. Embassy Georgetown.
Weighing in on the meeting, Mayor Narain told reporters that his office raised a number of issues, including the council's relationship with the central government and the treatment of vendors on the outskirts of the Georgetown Public Hospital.
Numerous things
was raised by the Office of the Mayor, recently issued with vendors, with working relationship with central government and so forth, racial discrimination, and those are issues we had discussed.
The Georgetown mayor said he also raised issues related to democracy and democratic practices.
And I believe that they're seeing what is going on in our country. And the same way that they had their voice in many issues in our country, I believe the international bodies need to hold any government accountable for the actions. Democracy is not about words, but the way that you act and the way you demonstrate that action to society and country at large.
According to the mayor, it is important for the government to uphold the rule of law and work in conjunction with the city council in the interest of the people of Georgetown, the nation's capital. Since the return of the PP Civic to office, the opposition-dominated city council and the government have been at loggerheads, with the mayor accusing the Ali administration of starving the municipality of critical resources and bypassing the council on major issues that are related to the city. The Guyana Police Force today reported that ranks from the Criminal Investigations Department were able to recover 2 high-powered assault weapons and ammunition during an operation in Norton Street, Georgetown yesterday. According to a police statement, the CID ranks were on patrol within the vicinity of Norton Street when they observed a suspicious-looking man holding a bulky green and orange haversack in his right hand. The police said as the man saw the police ranks, he began to run through an alleyway in a northern direction, dropping the haversack and leaving it behind. The ranks gave chase, but the man managed to escape. However, the police said that they managed to retrieve the haversack, and when they checked inside, they found what appeared to be an AK-47 assault rifle, an AR-15 rifle, 1-round magazine containing 45 live ammunition, and 2 AR-15 magazines, one containing 8 pieces of ammunition. The police said the firearms, magazines, and ammunition were dusted for fingerprints, then marked, sealed, and lodged as the investigations continue.
Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor of the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true, or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Buster, win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive!
Across across the region tonight. Let's start off in neighboring Venezuela, where the Venezuelan Opposition National Assembly has appointed 3 exiled lawmakers to direct it and create a commission to control foreign assets, including oil refiner Citgo Petroleum. The Assembly voted last week to remove Juan Guaido, the public face of the fractious opposition since 2019, as its interim president. The U.S. and other governments had backed Guaido after deeming the 2018 re-election of Nicolas Maduro as fraudulent. Legislators who backed ending the interim government say their control of foreign assets is not at risk, despite warnings from Guaido and others, and the dissolution was necessary, they said, for unity ahead of the presidential elections, which are scheduled for next year. The new leadership is made up of Assembly President Denora Figuera and Vice President Marinela Fernandez and Oristela Vasquez from opposition parties. All 3 have lived abroad since the start of Guaido's interim government because of what the opposition said was the government harassment. Dominican Republic-based startup Arajet Airlines has received permission from the country's Civil Aviation Board to begin both scheduled and unscheduled flights to Trinidad from its base in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Arajet has also received permission to fly routes to Brazil, Honduras, Belize, Barbados, and Guyana. The announcement was made on Twitter. The airline is expected to begin operations as early as March of this year, using the company's existing fleet of 737 MAX 8 aircraft. Arajet Airlines is an ultra-low-cost airline based in the Dominican Republic. It began operations in September of last year and currently flies to 18 destinations in Latin America and the Caribbean. And finally tonight, international news. Mexican security forces captured drug cartel leader Ovidio Guzman, the son of jailed kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, ahead of a visit by U.S. President Joe Biden next week. Coming 3 years after a failed operation to detain him ended in humiliation for the government of Mexico, the arrest triggered a wave of violence that forced authorities to shutter airports and schools in one city. The defense minister in Mexico told a news conference that security forces had captured a 32-year-old senior member of the Sinaloa cartel. The fugitive, since the previous arrest attempt, was now being held in the capital of Mexico City. Videos shared on social media appear to show heavy fighting overnight in another city in the north state of Sinaloa, with the sky lit up by helicopter gunfire. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting and encouraging you to have a safe and enjoyable weekend.